Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we are checking out a cover of Kanaria's Demon Lord from Laplus channel of hololive Japan. Now, I'm really excited to check this out. As I mentioned before, when we did our Demon Lord Kanaria reaction, I really thought that cover, or that song, would be great for covers. And we've already got a cover to check out. So let's just jump on right into things in 3, 2, 1, play. All right. Nice. Already you can see some changes in the instrumentation. We're focusing on an acoustic bass now. We've got like a actual string bass. Well, not a string bass, but it sounds like a bass guitar that we're using for our bass tonalities already, which I already feel is just a little more funky and a little more fun for the mix. Nice. I like the breathiness we're getting here on these these separating vocals here, and for these spurts of just vocalization, really. That breathiness is really nice. Nice. Listen to that alternation, really. You know, we get a very intense high velocity air, and then we go into the soft breathiness, and then we go back into this high intensity vocal, and then we pull back out. You know, that's a very smooth transitions. Nice, and the backing vocal there. Nice, and it feels like, you know, that backing vocal with the higher, not only is it the higher pitch, but it feels like it's a little more digitized. You know, I feel like there's a digital effect on there, which it kind of pays a bit of homage to the Vocaloid song. But, you know, it's just, these vocals are so, it feels so much more active and so much more engaging hearing this cover than, you know, obviously I appreciate the original Vocaloid, but I absolutely love the human aspect that we get here with these vocals. Nice. That was a big lift, but, you know, we're still getting the intensity. So we're not really getting to that head voice where it's airy and breathy, but we're still getting that belting out intensity in our vocal. And I mean, it's just the transitions between that, like, you know, the high intensity and the breathiness. It's super smooth. I absolutely love how Laplus is doing that. Nice. We're still getting the backing vocal here, which is very clean. I really like how that backing vocal is complementing the main vocal here. And you know, just the way the notes like flow, just I really like the human aspect to the song, because I really like the original song. I just felt like the Vocaloid couldn't do the composition justice. And I really like how that, you know, just playing around with the breathiness, the intensity of the air, the demeanor of the voice, it just feels so much more clear with the human cover. Nice. Nice. Those were consistent sustains there, and even the cutoff, you know, I think, you know, the reason we didn't have like a real like dissension in that sustain, or I guess like a decrescendo through the sustain, is because of the, you know, the high impact, the funkiness of the song. Really, it really just adds a lot when you're not like descending or through that sustain. You're not, or descending is the wrong word to use. When you're not like just getting a quieter through the sustain, letting your voice die off for the sustain, we still get the intensity, we still get the drive behind the voice throughout the entirety of the sustain, and then we let the bass cut us off. We let that bass pulse cut us off there. That was beautiful. Ooh, nice. Nice, and we're getting these backing vocals throughout the entirety now. I mean, the backing vocals are just consistent now, and I really like that climb because it's just I remember I kept mentioning this earlier when we did the Kanaria reaction, and I'm saying it again now. Just the way the vocal demeanor changes is something that I feel Vocaloid just can't emulate, like as much as a human voice can just project, and how a human voice can manipulate itself. It's just not the same with a Vocaloid, Like, sure, a Vocaloid can hit these pitches and it can kind of, change its demeanor to an extent, right? But, I mean, I absolutely love what Laplus is doing here. You can tell, that huskiness of her voice, it slowly comes up more and more from the abdomen to the chest, and, the breathiness starts to cut out. So, we get less and less breathy and more intense as we come up, and then we start going, like, very close to our head voice. And then we let the instrumental cut us off higher. And we jump back down low. Ooh, and I like that. And I also want to mention, now that we've had this shift in the song, right? We're now cutting off our vocal segments, or I suppose separating our vocal segments, not with a bass pulse so much as we are with these now treble-centric, just like horn blasts. And that is, I like that. It's not a super standout transition because it's still natural and it still flows with the song. But, that transition for the instrumentation, it speaks to the entire shift of the song. It creates that aesthetic of a new segment here. I love the backing vocal now. And the backing vocal is a lot more bassy, and it's under the main vocal as compared to before when the backing vocal was mainly higher than the main vocal. Jump up high. Got that suppression on it. Nice. Ooh, nice. Listen to that complete change. We go all in. We have vocal support. We're belting that out. That's beautiful. That was beautiful. Nice. And we come back into the throat a bit, actually. So we've got that abdominal support, and then we come back to the throat a little bit as we continue that segment. And then we come back. Listen, those transitions are so smooth. Listen to how we change from this big abdominal projection, and then we come back in, we focus more on the throat, get a little bit nasally, and then we switch our demeanor just like that. We come back to that higher pitch, still adding in some breathiness, and then we go back into a sustain. I mean, that's so smooth. The transitions are beautiful. That's awesome. We had a little bit of shakiness on that So Fly, but I think that was intentional. I think that was intentional to add some variation and add a bit of like inflection since as we progress to the song. I think that was intentional right there. Let me go back a bit. Yeah, listen, the first time we had those sustains, right? The So Fly, that sustain right there. The first time I mentioned how it was super consistent, and then we just let it cut off with the instrumentation, that bass pulse, really, with the instrumentation through the synth. And but right there, you can hear it's a lot more human there. You can feel the struggle in her voice, which I don't think she's struggling because it's hard for her to do. I think she's struggling because to communicate, the progression through the song and how we're changing and adding some variation into the song. I mentioned this when we reacted to the original from Kanaria as well. The song felt super consistent. It didn't feel like it had like a whole lot of switch ups or dynamic aspects to it when I reacted to the original. But when I'm listening to this cover, everything feels so refreshing and new. It feels like we're getting all sorts of variety. We're getting all these different vocal demeanors, these different parts of her range. I absolutely love this cover better than the original. I mean, just straight up, like, I love this so much more than the original. And that's not to say I didn't like the original. I enjoyed the original. I thought it was a very solid song. But this cover, just to me, it blows it out of the water in terms of just how we're getting this demeanor from Laplus and, the different aspects of her voice that communicate these. You can get the high intensity vocal, you can get the breathiness, communicating this exhaustion versus, the energy in her voice. It just feels so much more refreshing to me. But yeah, let's let it keep playing. Like right there, you can hear that. Nice, we're climbing again. Nice. All right. That was Demon Lord from Kanaria, covered by Laplus of hololive Japan. That was really awesome. I really, really, really liked that. That was a really, I mean, I think, there's not, a lot of times you can have a cover that you really, really like and it does something different, but there aren't like a whole lot of times where you can say for sure that a cover just exceeds the original. And, I think, I'm a little bit biased, because to me, the human aspects of the vocals are so important and so vital to how I appreciate a song, right? Because, the demeanor of the voice, how breathy it is, how intense it is, the variation you get in the demeanor of the voice, that's so important to me when I'm hearing a song. So when I'm comparing something with a human vocalist and one as skilled and as talented as Laplus here, I think it's very obvious that to me personally, it's going to exceed a Vocaloid song because the Vocaloid can only do so much. I mean, so, it's a little unfair to say like, oh, this cover completely blew the original out of the water. But I mean, to me, it did. It really did to me. And Laplus did amazing here. I mean, that was phenomenal. I absolutely loved just everything she did with her voice there. It was super cool. I really, really loved that. So yeah. Thank you very much for watching. As always, feel free to recommend more in the comments below. And please tell me what you think. Because, I don't want to feel like I have like an unfair like bias against Vocaloid. Because it's not like I didn't enjoy the original from Kanaria. But I just feel like it's very hard to take a Vocaloid and then compete with the human aspects you can add to a song, right? That's just how I feel. But yeah, feel free to let me know what you guys think. And I still really appreciate the original from Kanaria because, we wouldn't have this cover without that original. And that original creates a template for other people to cover and other people to enjoy and other people to experiment with. So I still really appreciate the original from Kanaria. I don't want that to be misunderstood in any way. But yeah, just thank you for watching. As always, feel free to recommend more in the comments below. Aside from that, I will see you all next time. Thank you so much.